Thanks for coming today. It's nice to see everyone here. Allow me to introduce myself first. I'm William. I'm working as a software quality assurance engineer, and I'm doing a lot of test automation with Java, with JavaScript. I'm testing UI, backend, mobile applications, web applications, everything. So currently I'm looking for a way to make a transition of my career to the software development. If anyone have ideas, opportunities for me, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, feel free to add me as a contact for your networking purposes. Suits me fine. Let me reload. OK. So here is a mini recruiter. It's going to ask you questions according to your technical role that you can choose in the beginning. This application based itself on the OpenAI technologies. It uses text-to-speech functionality. I don't know if we're going to hear that today, but anyway, it was done to improve user experience. So how did I came up with the idea of mini recruiter? Funny to say, the initial thing that I thought I can build a mobile application with Twilio API, with Amazon Poly, and some Stripe in the backend. So for a customer normally can use application to help with customer support, with mini recruitment, with document assistance, everything that involves machine learning. The project was too heavy for me alone. I didn't pull it out, so that is where I came up with a mini version of my initial project. It's a mini recruiter, and let's type something to start some activity here. Let's say I'm a Java developer. And initially, mini recruiter asking what kind of role you think you're going to be a great fit. I don't know if everyone can see it. Okay, enter.
Okay, next question. What design patterns have you used in the past?
Okay, it's working. So as you can see, it's asking you technical questions, as normally recruiters do over the phone screen. And also it's providing you a piece of advice how normally people answering that kind of questions. Now, you can see it's sometimes is hallucinating, and let's say, what pattern do you know? Singleton? What?
Okay, next question. Can you explain what a singleton class is and how you would use it in Java?
Anyway, before we going to start deep into the code, does anyone have any questions initially that I could answer right now?
OpenAI.
Yeah, so the thing is, I use it here, OpenAI APIs. I didn't know initially how to do it. I get used to the MongoDB and Express.js. I usually running server with request response, but OpenAI normally using something like Fetch API, which is normally really easy for UI persons who working on the front end. And I didn't know initially how I'm gonna do this project. There is one person, I don't see him here today, he helped me out. He advised to visit his Git repository, I believe his name Toby. And he presented his project 3 months ago. So that's how I start get going my project. He helped me a lot. Tosi, right, Tosi, yeah. If you're gonna see him, thanks a lot. In any case, if no other questions, let's go over the code base. And what I did here, I used React.js and text-to-speech API and everything else like OpenAI. Let's start from the bottom.
Can you make the text a little bit bigger?
Yeah, sure. Is everyone can see it? Okay, so this is the main thing that's happening on the back end. I getting all the text from the text area that normally input from the user, and then I going to take this text to the function which is fetch bot reply. Here on the line 47, you can see that I'm initializing service from OpenAI. And lower, you can see the links to OpenAI. I just keep them here so anyone who came across these links can understand better what are models, what kind of models OpenAI have, what the rate limits, because it's not for free, they're charging for every request. Also below you can see models that I used to. It's a TextDaVinci 003. There are also a model below that I keep here just for general information, TextAda 001, which is really simple, old, cheap, not expensive, but it's kind of hallucinating a lot. So DaVinci itself going to be deprecated in 2024 in January, which is going to be pretty soon. I leave some comments here for everyone. And I would say I would probably going to switch to the ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo. Anyway, let's do proceed. Here I use it, what do we call one-shot prompt engineering, where we're providing example. And in terms of outline here, you see in this function, it's just a text that provided by a user as input. Below you see maximum tokens. It's 60 considered tokens as words, 2 tokens, it's a 1 word. Normally people want to keep here a couple of more parameters like temperature and stop for OpenAI purposes, when to stop, where to stop, and temperature usually responsible for how bold OpenAI is, how precise, but it's normally taking more tokens. I decided to keep it at minimum. If anyone enjoy it, please let me know. Here I use some regex because sometimes when response coming in, strings as a response have in the beginning this exclamation mark or dot in the beginning. I don't know why this is happening. I just remove it by using regex. And the last one is the set loading. If you was able to see where when I using mini recruiter, it's normally not it's not getting response like instantly. It's taking time. That's where I using loading, just what do you call it? UI, just loading bar. And this is pretty much it, except the fetch advice that we saw in the end of the application here as a piece of advice. And what it's normally do is the same thing. It's getting response from OpenAI. It's also using TextDaVinci 003. The main thing that you can get notice here is using more max tokens to be more precise, because we don't want to go hallucinate in the process. And it's using modified data that I called. Normally modified data, it's just this text speech bubble from mini recruiter, and I use the regex to replace all words you by I. That's how OpenAI getting request with all this string, but instead of you, you're gonna have I, and answer response going to be piece of advice here. pretty much straightforward. The other thing that you would probably want to know, the user agent who familiar with core policies and cross-origin policies. Not every request can be done in the internet. Some of them is blocked by cross-origin policies. So that is where I removed them from header. That is not normally what we want to see in a production, but I implemented in my project here. I'm going to replace it probably in the future. This is my key. Hopefully no one sees it. And what else? This is just a key down, just it's a enter. When we're sending a request, it's for accessibility of the user. Let's say something different. Back. We have one today, right, Maria? You are a Python backend engineer, right?
Okay, next question. Can you explain to me what you understand by the term object-oriented programming?
Okay, that is pretty much like a really simple, right, question. But anyway, there is cons and pros in that kind of one-shot approach. Normally, people seeing in a code like where is it? This prompt, it's multiple lines, which do we call, it should be probably here, multiple lines, which do we call sequence of requests to tune up an answer from OpenAI. I didn't do this here. That's why it's causing mini recruiter to ask questions on the last answer from the user. So say you start from Java developer like I did, and now you are a Python developer, it's going to follow up your thoughts. If you Python, he's going to ask Python. And next you saying something about I using React, is going to next question going to be React. Is have no line of, no log, so to say. The last thing that I want to mention it for Mini Recruiter is to read aloud. It's a web speech API that initializes right after the function. You probably see some parameters. It's like how fast speech goes and how lower or higher pitch usually are. And it's different on multiple platforms. On Windows it sounds better, which I work usually. On the MacBook it sounds like really robotic. Is that correct word? Robotic. That's pretty much it. As for Mini Recruiter, is there any questions? Please feel free. Which one go for you?
Mini Recruiter, is it for people to learn or practice interview, or is it for interviewer to interview candidate?
It's for practice. Say Mini Recruiter, say real recruiter calling you. You can type his questions here. He's going. Oh yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned it. It's a kind of ambiguous word, cheating, because now in nowadays world, what recruiters normally do, they getting like 1,000 applicants and then take only 10. And then I know a lot of people who came here, they have coding experience, but they don't have what do you call this experience of communication, like answering technical questions. So yeah, it's kind of cheating, but recruiter get paid for his work, right? While candidate is just practicing. So.
Practice your tool?
No, I built this thing for others, but if I would be probably beginner, I would probably use it.
It's only for beginner.
You can set up for hard-working, hard school person who doing a lot of job on the back end, but I don't think I'm gonna do this with my project. Feel free to fork it and do whatever you want. All my projects is under MIT license. You can do what you want. Yeah?
Where did you get the questions from? I saw that when you enter like I'm Python backend developer, and then the Mini Recruiter comes up with a question about object programming paradigm.
Yeah, so normally question like, sounds like this for mini recruiter. It's a request that I'm sending each time. And in outline, if you can see here, it goes user input. So you're just using this string to make a request to OpenAI. It's simple as that. You don't need to do any adjustments.
But if someone would know that prompt, they could modify it so that there's something weird comes out. Like,
yeah.
because you just put something in the middle, right?
Yeah, normally we want to...
SQL injection kind of thing, right?
Right. Normally we want to keep it protected, like private or secure. Yeah, good point.
But I think even in ChatGPT, you get like even if you have this prompt and as you were saying, there's some functions, or even if you say now you act as this, it's kind of really change whatever is the code. So you're saying what's the best way to do that? Just like keep it secure. How to keep it secure? Because in any time you can prompt it to be what you want it to be.
So normally, as I know, we have something data type like string in the beginning, and we keep it as a const, so you cannot modify it in the process of the mini recruiter work, like this in the beginning. That's what React do, and that's pretty much it. What do you need to do?
So you can say now you act as a, like you prompt Java, and then you said now you act instead of Java. Forget that. Do as a Python.
I don't think with
Because
the...
you run it every single time, that's why?
Yeah. Every time it's kind of restarting this whole process. But I'm not a security engineer, but your point is good. I would probably look into this. Any more questions?
What's going to be the next feature for it?
Turning off speech, because sometimes it have a lot of to listen. And it's not turning off like simply enough. It's going to proceed until you are closing the tab itself.
I see.
Yeah. Okay, if no other questions, let me just really shortly speak about next project, which is Document Assistant. It's still loading, I don't know why. Let me reload it. It's the same thing with the recruiter. It's a ChatGPT bot that answers your questions based on the document you can upload. Say you have tax documentations that you don't understand from IRS. You have lawyer documents that you need to understand before go to the court. Or you have your resume that you want to translate to Spanish or anything else. Let's try it. By the way, sometimes it's hallucinating, so don't expect much.
I need to know what a quorum is in a voting context.
Okay, it's hallucinating,
Context
but
refers to the minimum number of members who must be present in order for a vote to take place and be considered valid. Okay, just wait a second.
let's see if it's worked that way. Okay, it's worked that way. So it's having issues in the first step, but then it's picking up with the pace. Okay, shut up. Let's try translate, which I normally do in ChatGPT. It's a resume. I uploaded resume, just random resume from internet to Spanish.
Range to github.com/parej-con-tv/event-management.
Okay, it's working, and I have.
Express.js.
Excuse me?
Also translate it back.
It's translating everything like ChatGPT do. You can ask ChatGPT normally. And this is just a bot. It's acting on behalf of ChatGPT because it's using the same API. Just really short. This one I created for learning French. Let's put translation here. Let's have a better web speech API just to check if it's Spanish. Okay, forget about this. Anyway, let's take a look what's under the hood. Let's take a look on the code base itself. It's pretty much similar to what we had in Mini Recruiter. And what it does is just loading PDF file with oh, it's still Mini Recruiter, sorry. One second. Okay, I don't think I will be able to find it right now. It's going to take time. Anyway, what it uses, npm package with Java, I believe PDF, JavaScript, something like this. It's just reading all PDF file and then it's loading as initial information into the OpenAI API as a request. Plus, it's just adding in the end outline that we spoke earlier that we're using here as a user input, and it's just going to provide you answer. It's the same thing as a Mini Recruiter. That's it. Okay, I don't want to hold you any much longer. Thanks for listening to me. If you have any questions, please go ahead. No, then we're done.
Thank you.
Thank you.